Chicago's #1 news. You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Honor and respect today in the Chicago area.
It was such a long time ago, but it feels like yesterday.
In the rest of the country. And in other parts of the world, we pause to remember the victims and the heroes of September 11th.
In a matter of minutes, in the most dire of circumstances, the 40 responded as one.
20 years later, there is still so much emotion, so much healing still happening, and a resolve to never forget.
The actions of an enemy revealed the spirit of a people, and we were proud of our wounded nation.
And a very good evening to you. Welcome to this special edition of the Eyewitness News Update.
Today, 20 years after the terror attacks that claimed nearly 3,000 lives, we remember. We have team coverage tonight, starting with ABC's Ike Ejiochi, with remembrances in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
The sun rising over lower Manhattan this September 11th, 20 years after the deadliest attack on American soil. Mourners gathering at the 9/11 memorial, along with President and First Lady Biden, as well as former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. Bells tolling 6 times for the 6 pivotal moments of the attack, starting at 8:46 a.m., marking the time when American Flight 11 crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The Young People's Chorus of New York singing the national anthem. The sound of bagpipes as the names of all 2,977 victims of the attacks were read out loud by family members.
Today of all days, we gather their memory close.
At the Pentagon, where 184 people were killed, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin reminding Americans that we must be tireless guardians of our ideals as well as our security.
And we still uphold our values here. With clear heads and fearless hearts.
And in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the 40 passengers and crew of United Flight 93 bravely overpowered the hijackers and crashed the plane down into a field, Vice President Kamala Harris spoke of the humanity and courage of those strangers.
We must also look toward the future, because in the end, I do believe that is what the 40 were fighting for. Their future and ours.
Former President George W. Bush also delivering remarks comparing the September 11th terror attack to the growing domestic terrorism threat.
They are children of the same foul spirit, and it is our continuing duty to confront them.
President Biden and the First Lady also attending a wreath-laying ceremony at Shanksville. Those who were there are the family members of those killed on Flight 93. And the President and Dr. Biden also visiting the Pentagon to pay their respects. Ike Ejiochi, ABC News, New York.
Ike, thanks very much. A flag was raised today on the roof of a fire station at Ground Zero in honor of fallen Chicago police officer Ella French. The CPD chaplain, Father Dan Brandt, led that ceremony. He was joined by 2 Chicago police officers, members of the New York City Fire Department, and the U.S. Marines. The flag will be presented to Officer French's mother.
Across the Chicago area, services and memorials were held today. Our Alexis McAdams has more on those.
I stand before you today with a heavy heart. 20 years on, it's still hard to think about that terrible day.
A solemn day of remembrance in Chicago, beginning with a large gathering at Daley Plaza to honor those who lost their lives in the deadliest act of terrorism on U.S. soil.
It is our calling and it is our duty to honor the lives that were lost.
Among the nearly 3,000 people killed that day, 441 first responders.
They made the ultimate sacrifice, and this nation will always remember and honor them.
This morning, an all call on the radios for law enforcement.
May they rest in peace, knowing their country has not forgotten about them. We're now going to have
a helicopter flyover by the Lake County, Indiana Sheriff's Office and a 21-gun salute out in Hammond. Naperville honoring Commander Dan Schanauer. The Naperville native and naval commander died in the attack on the Pentagon.
What 20 years has shown us is that from devastation comes healing.
Over at the beam, members of the Marine Corps walking a half marathon.
It never leaves. It never escapes my mind. It's just something that, a simple picture or a video clip just kind of, makes it feel like it was just yesterday.
Each step to honor the 13 U.S. service members killed in the Kabul airport attacks.
To fight for right and freedom.
Reflecting back 2 decades.
When I finally turned 18, I had the chance to enlist and do my part.
The tragedy inspiring Marine Juan Perez.
Did a tour in Afghanistan in 2010, Helmand Province.
Fighting for our country and for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice.
There are people out there that stand up and protect this nation and take the fight to the enemy and do what has to be done in order to keep our borders and our land safe. And I think that we forget that at times, and we shouldn't just remember it when it's days like today.
Reporting downtown, I'm Alexis McAdams, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And over at Soldier Field, current and retired firefighters and supporters participating in a memorial ceremony and stair climb. Our Mayor Kawash spoke to some of those who were participating.
Soldier Field packed with people and first responders today, honoring the 2,977 lives lost in 9/11.
We just have to remember them. We can't let history go.
Current firefighters, retired firefighters, and some supporters climbing 2,200 steps here today to honor those lives lost. One firefighter tells me the souls of those people are sitting right here in Soldier Field today.
The 343 brothers we lost that day, that's my push to get through this for them. They're the ones that are going to be carrying me through these stairs.
Mike Murr was still in training to become a firefighter on the day the towers were attacked. Watching the heroic efforts of others that day impacted the rest of his career.
It pushed me. It made me want to pursue it more. It made me want to, step up to the plate and, just do the job, to be there, to be the best I could be for everyone, for the citizens.
Others are too young to remember the day, like today's national anthem singer, a 17-year-old who has now learned the significance of 9/11 over the years.
My mom has always made it a point for me to know the importance of today, and at school as well. So it's really important, and it feels very good to be able to honor these people who passed away for us.
Others remembering exactly where they were on that day.
My husband was supposed to travel that day, and he chose not to, and we just stayed home and watched what was going on.
As we remember the lives lost 20 years ago, the nation's departure from Afghanistan also comes to mind for many.
It's kind of funny because it all coincides with us pulling out of Afghanistan. That's why we started that conflict war 20 years ago. I have a daughter in the Army, so you just think back to where this all came from.
Mayor Kawash, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And stay with ABC7 for continuing coverage of 9/11 20 years later. We have more on services today from around the world, as well as some personal stories from people who were impacted. There are also so many people who lost loved ones or interacted with the hijackers and are still coming to terms with what happened on that day. And it's all right here on our website, abc7chicago.com.
Chicago police officer Carlos Yanez, who was injured in the shooting last month that claimed the life of his partner Ella French, is slowly regaining strength, according to his family. Officer Yanez's sister says that he is able to move his left arm, but still has bullet fragments in his neck. He and Officer French were shot in Inglewood on August 7th.
We're wishing him very well. All right, let's switch gears here and let's get a check on our weather for tonight.
That's right. Phil Schwartz standing here with the weather forecast. Phil, really shaped up to be a hot day today.
Yeah, maybe even a degree or two warmer than today. Today's high temperature made it up to 86 degrees. The average high is 77. Still nowhere near the record for the state, which is 95. Tomorrow, well, it could be even warmer than today. This is actually the second warmest day so far this month. A little bit warmer tomorrow, but during the day, things are really going to start to change, especially as we get into the afternoon hours. 86 now in Niles. Evanston, you're at 85. Same reading in Hobart. Park Forest, you're at 86. And 86 now in Wheaton. We go through the night tonight. Plenty of clouds around. Any showers will stay up in Wisconsin. Could be a sprinkle tomorrow right along the Wisconsin line early. Now look at these temperatures tomorrow afternoon. 73 in Waukegan. Close to 90 at O'Hare, possibly touching 90 at Naperville. And then during the afternoon, late afternoon and evening hours, temperatures will actually start to fall. So look at the readings by 5 o'clock. We could be down into the 70s. So a very pleasant late day especially if you're near the lake as that weak frontal boundary moves through the area. As we head into your Monday, yeah, there could be showers or thunderstorms, mainly in McHenry and Lake counties. That activity moves out. Most of Monday will be dry, but there will be this boundary across the northern suburbs. So again, a fairly significant temperature range, but not as hot Monday as it will be tomorrow. 66 to 72, partly cloudy skies overnight. Tomorrow, more clouds and sun. That lake breeze develops late in the day. 79 North Shore, 91 well inland. Again, after about 2, 3 o'clock, temperatures will start to fall, especially near the lake. I think our official high will be about 87. All of these numbers well above normal. Best chance for showers and storms comes Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Karen and Ravi.
All right, thank you, Phil. Naperville is hosting its first ever Naper Pride Fest this weekend. Live music, food, and local vendors are all part of the celebration, organized by the suburban LGBTQ community and allies of all ages. The festival continues tomorrow at Naper Settlement, and free COVID testing and vaccinations are available on site. This as the Chicago Pride Parade for next month has been canceled due to a surge of the Delta variant.
All right, remember that you can get your news anytime right here on our website or free on our ABC7 News app.
Eyewitness News is back tonight on ABC7 after the Washington Huskies-Michigan Wolverines game. We'll see you tonight.